Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's the Rubbin Racing Podcast with Spider and Large. We're happy to be here with you. Listen, Quiggs is not here today. You guys had sent in so many DMs saying that you need a week off from Quiggs, and we get it. We totally get it. So we heard what you said. We gave him the fucking week off to regroup, maybe get a little bit more energy. You know what I mean? Like Quiggs, he just rubs people the wrong way. Spider, you agree with that?
I completely agree. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone who's listened to the show for more than like 5-10 minutes to understand. So
Yeah. I don't like to throw around the word dick, but Quiggs is a dick, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole deal. We got Moonhead in a remote location no one can know. And then we have Jacob on the ones and twos, making sure this thing doesn't look like it's shot on a fucking potato. This episode is brought to you by Body Armor. More importantly, by Body Armor Flash IV, which I have right in front of me. Flash IV delivers faster, longer-lasting hydration with over 2,000 milligrams of electrolytes with no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners like those other drinks. So whether you're training, traveling, or just feeling the heat, work hard. By the way, I've been up and down the eastern seaboard. It's unbearably hot everywhere. Just got back from Tuscaloosa. It looked like I swam there. And I come up to New Jersey. Just landed last night at 2 a.m. with a delay. Just brutally hot. And so this is what's been keeping me going. I bring it on the plane, the whole deal. So Hydrate Hard with Body Armor Flash IV, and grab yours today at a local 7-Eleven's convenience store or wherever they're sold. Thank you so much for your continued support, Body Armor. I kind of like their paint scheme this week. It's just all black.
Oh, I
Ryan
love it.
Blaney's doing the black Body Armor paint scheme. So
that thing looks clean. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Large. I'll be down there this weekend with the Body Armor folks and pulling for Blaney. So yeah, that Body Armor thing looks awesome. And also, speak of weather, I believe it's just thundering like crazy right now.
Mm-hmm. I think you're supposed to be good for Saturday night in Richmond. I've been watching the Doppler 4000 or whatever it is.
Large, do you remember the first time we were in Richmond?
Oh, you're going to bring that up?
No, I was just going to bring up the weather.
Oh, okay. It was 106 degrees on the deck at Richmond. That's what they had it clocked at. Inside the car, it was like 122 degrees.
We're wearing fire suits.
And yeah, how was that ride? I don't remember. Mine wasn't that great.
Mine was great. I got to go along. For those who don't know what we're talking about, we got invited to Richmond, not for a race, but for a ride along with Dale Earnhardt Jr. in a 2-seater car. So that was really cool. I got like maybe 2 or 3 laps in with Jr. on the track. Awesome. And now I'm going back to Richmond to actually watch a real race this time. And as you said, Large, based on our previous experiences there, I'm glad I'm going with the Body Armor folks because we will be well hydrated all weekend. God forbid it's 106 degrees again.
And remember, I'll mention it at the end of this episode, where no Xfinity this week. They took a week off just to let Connor Zilic heal up. But we're going Saturday night. We're under the lights at Richmond. Yep. We're under the lights in Daytona next week also. So yeah, we got a couple of night races. So Saturday night is when you need to tune into Cup, and then trucks are going off on Friday. This episode is also brought to you by Blue Chew. Guys, enter the room dick first. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet; it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. This ain't a supplement. It's an erection resurrection. Guys, this isn't just about performance. This is about legacy or third legacy. Give her group chat something to talk about. You know, when you lay it down, they're talking about how it gets up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use code Rubbin at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to bluechew.com for details and safety info. And thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. I kind of put a little stink on it when I read that one. You ever noticed that?
I have. You know who noticed it was John Hunter.
Yeah. Guys, this isn't just about performance. This is about third legacy. You know, I don't know why. I guess I didn't write that copy, but I appreciate it. All right, before we get going, we've been highlighting some scary stuff. I mean, obviously the Stuart Friesen accident from a couple of weeks ago, and we've gotten updates, and it seems like he is recovering. That was scary to watch. We're going to talk a little bit about we'll talk about it a lot if we want, about something that was scary to watch this weekend when Connor Zilic fell off the roof And then the scariest thing in the world, unfortunately, also happened this past week when 54-year-old Robbie Brewer died at Bowman Gray. He made nearly 260 career starts on the sportsman division and recorded his best season in 2011 when he won the points championship. There's not a ton of information about what happened to Robbie. There was reports that he had had a heart attack inside the car, so he had actually passed away or at least went unconscious, and then his car obviously got away from him and had a pretty hard hit. So it wasn't necessarily a racing. It's very unclear. And to be quite honest with you, maybe we won't get it. But we do know that this is a tragedy. So we do want to say to his family, we're very, very sorry for your loss and send our condolences. So rest in peace, Robbie Brewer. 53, I think, about to turn 54. So same age as me. And he's still wheeling it around. And unfortunately, it looks like we lost a good one. All right. Speaking of good ones, this weekend wasn't a good one. Watkins Glen wasn't a great race on the Cup side, but it was a wild weekend. You know, you'd mentioned, I just mentioned the gentleman passing away, and then we had an ARCA winner who was 15 years old. 5 days after turning 15 and becoming eligible to race in the ARCA Menard Series, Spire Motorsports development driver Tristan McKee won in his series debut on Friday at Watkins Glen. The victory made McKee the second youngest winner in series history. Todd Gilliland was 15 years and 2 days when he won his ARCA debut. So Todd Gilliland holding on to this fucking record by like 2 or 3 days is a very Todd Gilliland thing to do. I'm very happy for Todd. He's the Grillo's pickle guy as far as I'm concerned. How do you feel about a 15-year-old wheeling around the ARCA series, Spider?
That's impressive. Yeah, I mean, obviously, when I seen this, I was like pretty obviously impressed. I mean, when I was 15, I was like on my couch eating fucking Pop-Tarts or something like that.
Right.
But no, it's pretty cool. I think the Gilliland thing is really cool. I feel like a lot of times you don't realize how young a lot of these kids are.
Yeah.
Especially Zilich. Like, I remember we were waiting for him to turn certain age so we could race on certain tracks and then drink a beer after he wins. So it's just cool kind of seeing these kids come onto the scene and also deliver so young. And I think that's a testament to the skill set required in racing. Like the guys that seemingly start and that have been racing their whole life have a massive, massive advantage. And that's no surprise, but it is cool when you hear about kind of how these guys came up. And, I didn't know that about Todd Gilliland. So impressive stat for him. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, just it's a testament to how, young and youthful the sport is.
And focus. Moonhead, when you were 15, what were you doing?
Nothing that impressive, I can tell you that.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like my dad, his father, my grandfather, died when my dad was 15 years old. My grandfather was a stud. He had fathered his last child at the age of 72. So maybe he was using the Blue Chews. You never know. Over on some little island off the coast of Ireland. So my dad went away from home. He had, all these siblings, and he went to work on a deep sea fishing boat when he was 15. And, in the Atlantic, pulling shit out of the Atlantic. He's a man's man. At 15, I was just learning that right mixture of Big Red gum and Visine to put in before I got home, so my parents didn't know I was drinking. That's the biggest thing I could have fucking did at 15. And this kid is wheeling him around. Is it part of the culture, Moonhead, that you see a lot of these people as kids? And is it worse than some of the stuff we see with these little league moms? You know what I mean? Do you get to see a lot of it?
Yeah, I mean, especially at the short track level, you definitely see the racing versions of the little league dads and moms. I don't know. Sometimes it's sad because sometimes you can tell the kid just wants to race for fun, and
right.
The parents think that they've got the next Jeff Gordon or something, and that can cause issues. But I don't know. A situation like Tristan, he's been on the scene for a minute, and he's always been really quick. He's kind of been a wrecking ball at times, but most of the young kids are. But he's definitely got speed and seems to be on the right trajectory, and already being signed with Spire at 15 years old is a crazy thing. But yeah, I mean, you can go to the go-kart track these days and find parents who think their kid is the next NASCAR star and act like it. So it's kind of gotten crazier over time, I feel like.
I love it. I mean, I love seeing the whole thing, particularly in that series, it gives some shine to it, and much needed, not much needed, much deserved shine. Trucks were a shit show this week. Kind of fun to watch, but it just got a little frustrating towards the end. Corey Heim survived 3 OT restarts, grabbed his 6th win of the 2025 season at Watkins Glen. We'll talk about Corey in just a second. Let's talk about him right now. So, Spidey, the rumor running around, this isn't one of these rumors from you. I'm not pinning it on you, but it seems like it's all over message boards and whatnot, that Corey Heim to the 7. Corey Heim to the 7 for Spire, as 2311 just tries to find out what the fuck they're doing, right? Like with all the lawsuits and stuff like that, the water has become kind of murky. So Corey Heim to the 7, and then Caden Honeycutt replacing Corey Heim in the Truck Series next season, which looks like that could be the done deal, the done part of the deal. And then the Corey part is what needs to be rectified. Corey Heim to the 7. Spidey, give it a Spidey score as far as rumors go.
I'm gonna give it a letter grade D, like Daniel. I think that's. I don't think this happens.
No.
I think Heim has been pretty loyal to Toyota. If he was going to jump ship, I think he would have already done it. It seems like he's content being patient. I don't really know specifically, gun to my head right now, what that means for him next year. But I don't think it'll be Heim. In fact, I think a guy that's got a better chance to drive the 7 next year would be Jesse Love, in my opinion. I think that might be a guy that legacy is eyeing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think there's a lot of overlap there. Young kid, California kid, maybe sharing the seat with Jimmy Johnson, who said he wants to continue racing into next year. Could be a big opportunity for Jesse Love. I don't know. I think Corey Heim is probably the most deserving of a Cup ride, but I don't see him driving the 7 for Spire next year.
Imagine though.
Corey I think it'd be great, but I think. I think as we were talking with Moonhead before the show, what did you say, Moonhead? You said about this move?
I think it would be career suicide for Heim, just because the 7 is not like, I thought that they might turn it around when Rodney Childers was there earlier in the year, and it seemed like they had flashes of greatness, but really since that deal went down, the 7 has just been miles behind. I feel like the other Spire cars, and it was that way even with Corey LaJoie. Obviously, we were shitting on him, this time last year for running poorly, but maybe there was more than just the driver to that. I think Heim's in a good spot with Toyota. Obviously, there's some sort of underlying beef or whatever that's keeping him out of going some avenues with Toyota. But that said, Sam Hunt's cars have gotten really fast in Xfinity now, and that's a Toyota team. And then obviously 2311 wants him in the end. It seems like Denny has kind of made that clear at times, and Corey is, I feel like, all but hinted at that's where he wants to land. So I think he's got a great thing going with Toyota, and I think if he kind of blew his load early trying to get into Cup now with a lesser team, it would not be a good move career longevity wise. And him and Hocevar I don't think that would be a good teammate duo.
They don't complement each other.
Yeah, if Hocevar's beefing with Michael McDowell, who is like the Christian dad of the Cup Series,
right?
You bring in another young guy who's aggressive, that's going to be a disaster for Spire.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think there is some credence as to why this rumor is being circulated, but Denny Hamlin just signed a multi-year deal with Joe Gibbs. And then you got obviously all the messy lawsuit stuff going on with 2311. Who's to say, they get through all the turbulence going on right now? Does Corey Heim just say to himself, like, hey, this is my chance. Let me just switch up, hop over to Chevy. I don't know. Personally, I tend to agree with Moonhead. I think he'll probably remain in a Toyota. And with 2311, obviously there's not a seat for him right now, but I think maybe he moves to Xfinity next year and they kind of keep letting him get his reps. I do agree with Moonhead, though. The last thing you want to do, we see a lot of these guys come up into the Cup Series, and, as we say, obviously it takes some time before you're in a position where you might have speed or even be competing for a win. But, there is a big learning curve between when you actually start getting a competitive. So I don't know. It might be bad for Heim to go to a team that doesn't have as much speed as maybe one of these Toyota teams.
Heim time being mentored by fucking Hurricane Hocevar, though?
I don't know.
That's
I
fucking
think I tend to agree with Moonhead on that one.
no.
That might be those teammates are not guys that I see really like complimenting each
Oh,
other.
they'd be the young guns.
I mean, they could probably lean into it, maybe, but
Yeah,
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Okay. Xfinity, Austin Hill did not learn his lesson. So he creates a massive wreck after Hook and McDowell. We'd seen all the, so we're taping on a Thursday. So we'd seen all the penalty reports and whatnot from NASCAR, and Austin Hill wasn't on the list this week, so he got away with it. I don't know. I watched that. Austin Hill just seems like a guy who either is not overly bright or he's just got some sort of anger issues or a little combination of both. I don't know does he ever do media? Have you ever seen him on a podcast, like sit down with,
You know what, Lars?
your
We got to get him
bumper?
on. We got to get him on.
Can we get him on?
I think we got to get him
we've
on.
never had McDowell on. I spoke to McDowell at that Earnhardt premiere for the senior, the documentary, which was very good. I told everyone to watch it. He's a great guy. I mean, I know that he's a religious dude, but I think before the whole religion thing happened, he used to tear it up a little bit. So we haven't had McDowell. I'd like to get fucking Hill on just to get inside his head.
Yeah.
I don't know about this guy. Is he a psychopath or anger or what the fuck's up with him?
I think he's got a little bit of the Hurricane Hocevar in him.
He does.
I think he really does, because to me, watching this, I'm like, there's no fucking way he did this intentionally. Like, he's coming off, as we said, penalties, all this shit.
Yeah.
You know, he got himself in a big mess last week. I don't think he would intentionally come out and do this. And if he did, then Large, I agree wholeheartedly. He's just like an idiot, like I don't even know what the word is. Like,
yeah, he went to black gloves. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think there's no way this was intentional. Obviously it's bad given what happened recently, but I don't know. You know, I think he's smart enough to know that this would be a bad move to do something like this. Intentional, it sucks. It was a massive wreck, but that's my 2 cents.
Is he an idiot, Moonhead?
I mean, yeah,
both can be true.
It certainly could have been avoided, but I'm with Spy. It was not intentional, but yeah, I think the fact that he didn't recognize the situation and go, if I turn this guy head on into the guardrail here and cause a huge wreck, it's going to look really, really bad on me. That part, yes, like that was a very short-sighted move on his part. But at the same time, I can respect that he can come off of all the backlash he got and still be as fierce as he was before. So I think it's kind of like the Chastain thing, right? Like you want to calm him down a little bit, but you don't want to calm him down so much that you ruin what made him fast. And I think Chastain maybe went too far when he had his sit down moment or whatever, when he was wrecking the Hendrick cars. Hill didn't learn a thing basically from this whole experience. So I guess really it boils down to, if he's not lying and he did actually not mean to wreck Almirola at Indy, maybe it's a good thing he didn't change it all. But if he's just lying, not a good look to come back and hook somebody right off of a suspension and cause a terrible wreck. I mean, that was a bad wreck.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's also two veterans in the sport, you know, Almirola and then McDowell. It's like, it's not like he's just picking on the young guns of the Xfinity series.
Right. I just wonder too that maybe, you know, Austin Hill's like, fuck it. They took away all my playoff points. I got the waiver, right? So he can get into the play. I'm not winning anything this year. Fuck it. Let's just be balls out. Like, he's playing with the casino's money. What are they going to do? There's no, I mean, I don't know. The guy, maybe he's playing chess.
What do you think the RCR internal meetings look like? Do you think they're telling these guys to drive like fucking maniacs?
Blue collar.
Yeah.
Blue collar.
Yeah.
Especially going into Richmond. Like, what does Rich Childress say to these guys?
Part of me thinks
Austin, don't you fucking, I'm your pawpaw. Don't fucking do that again.
No.
You know what I mean? And then the other Austin, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm going the other way. I think he's in there saying, like, don't, like, make sure our cars are causing, you know, turning heads, turning bumpers.
Right. Once he puts Hill in a fucking behind the wheel at a road course in the Cup Series, you know, it's basically just a hit job on Shane Van Gisbergen. But the Xfinity race culminates with Connor Zilic winning yet another one. Apparently, Connor Zilic is very good at just about everything except celebrating. So he gets up on the hood of his car, he trips on the fucking, you know, the net, the window net and whatnot. And boys, I will tell you right now, I thought he was dead. The way that body fell and had that sort of breakdancing move. You know, I used to, spin on my head and then come down and do that pose. When he did that inadvertently, I was like, oh, that boy just snapped his fucking neck. This is a tragedy. Where were you when you saw Connor Zilic die? I felt terrible. So getting away with just a broken collarbone is a fucking blessing, because that little benign fall seemed absolutely ruinous. Spider, did your asshole pucker a little bit when you saw the future of the sport go down like that?
I got to be honest. So to me, I was watching the end of the race, and I seen, SVG and Zilic, and they wrecked each other and whatever. And Zilic ended up being all right, but SVG's car got torn up. I thought it was fun watching those guys kind of like, walk on eggshells around each other. And then once Zilic won, I kind of went on with my day. I was like, all right, race is over. I didn't realize this happened until like maybe a little bit after the race. And then I saw the clip. And when I saw the clip, I was like you, Large. It was that's a pretty bad clip, in my opinion. Like, he just basically knocked himself out falling from the car. It looks super crazy. I don't know. Part of me feels like Trackhouse was due, their associated drivers were due for something like this, given the, we have so many interesting celebrations, so many things, opportunities for things to go wrong, whether it be like, blowing your arm out, hitting a piñata, falling when kicking a rugby ball, etc. But yeah, no, horrible, horrible, horrible. And I think it's honestly best case scenario that it's only a collarbone. I mean, I thought he fell straight on his head, and he wasn't able to really catch himself. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it could have been far, far worse. And it sucks. But at the same time, I think, like I said, it could be worse. You got to be happy that that's the extent of his injuries. I do think it's a little concerning, though, that Zilic has had some pretty big licks so far this year, and he's pretty young. We've seen him, I think it was at Talladega, the first race this year there, when he got in a big wreck and ended up missing the following week for back pain. And then now you have this, and it's just like broken collarbone. Like you said, Xfinity's off this week. He didn't obviously get to race in the Cup race last Sunday, but that's 2 big hits for a young kid super early on. I hope Zilic can stay healthy for an extended period of time, and this doesn't become a lingering thing, or, limit his potential for greatness moving forward into the future, because I truly believe he is the best prospect in the sport. Watching him drive, whether it be on the Cup Series or Xfinity, it's been impressive to see what he can do. So, I mean, I wish him good health. It sucks that this happened. It could have been worse, but hopefully Zilic, like I said, can stay healthy for a long period of time and enjoy his rookie year next year at the Cup level. My question for you guys is, if you're like, what do you do with him? He's competing for an Xfinity Series championship. He proved he can win on ovals, obviously road course ringer.
Right.
Are you taking it easy with him? Are you trying to get him back in the car with intentions to compete for that championship? Or is his health more important and giving him the time to fully recover? Where do you guys stand on that? We did see a guy like SVG come back relatively quick from a collarbone. So I don't know.
He got plates and screws put in.
Yeah.
So he did have the surgery, had some plates and screws
and
put in.
And he is a young kid. I feel like I shouldn't say little kids, but like the more youthful you are, the quicker you can bounce back from injuries and stuff. My concern is, though, do you rush him back, or do you kind of leave him on the shelf and let him get 100% with intentions for his rookie year and Cup next year?
What do you think, Moon? He could be ready for Daytona, but do you risk it? He could be conceivably ready for Portland. Do you risk that? He could conceivably make a playoff run. Do you risk it? How do you feel about him?
So he won't have trouble getting a waiver. I think the question is like how greedy they want to get, because theoretically he can start the race and then get out and still whoever covers for him finishes, he'd get the driver's points. So especially Daytona, I don't know if they would do this, but if they really wanted to get greedy, like that's a perfect place for him to just start in the back, ride behind the pack, wait on the first caution, and then get out. And somebody else could get in and realistically have a chance to go win the race. And boom, he has a whole nother, win worth of playoff points, I guess, out of the deal. So I think if they want to go that route, maybe he gets out of the car first caution for a couple of weeks. But I also feel like really that wouldn't be super beneficial until it came playoff time. Like, I don't think they're going to risk anything because, kind of like y'all have mentioned, he's a long-term prospect, and I don't think
Right.
it really an Xfinity points run is worth compromising maybe the rest of his career. So I don't think they're going to be super aggressive right out of the gate, but I expect him back in the car come playoff time. Like, I think they're going to do what they have to do to make sure that happens in some capacity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I would personally like to see him back at Portland. Given the road course there, I think that might be a good opportunity. Obviously, I mean, I do feel like a road course. I mean, the races upcoming are going to be tough for him between Daytona and Portland. I mean, obviously, Daytona's a massive risk for a guy that's already maybe a little bit banged up going into the race there. But then Portland, I feel like, and again, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how quickly these things recover or heal, but a road course, it seems like a bad thing, a bad place for arms. And I guess my point is, I look back to, I think it was like Clint Boyer, power steering, issue broke, and he had to do all the road course manually. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like with an arm injury or shoulder, that might be kind of cumbersome on a road course with all the turning associated. But either way, I guess I'm more interested to see. And I do think a big part of it is Connor Zillich's own decision. He's going to be the guy making the call. He's going to know when he feels good enough to get back in the car, and how much the Xfinity Championship run opportunity means to him. He might be of the mindset, hey, let me mail it in and kind of, take these gains I made this year and prepare for next year's Cup debut? Or is he the kind of guy that like needs, the trophy to show for it? Or
I don't know if you can leave this decision up to the 19-year-old kid, though.
Really?
Would it be something so bad just because the amount of investment? This kid's got, like Pockrass had said it too, he's got a 20-year career ahead of him.
Yeah.
Like he does. And he's destined for great things. I mean, I think he's going to be in the right car with the right team and the whole deal in the Cup. Is it the worst thing in the world that the kid just says, fuck the rest of the season? I mean, he got hurt climbing onto his fucking roof.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him in a car going 100 and something miles an hour just because it's his shoulder. Like, if he was to snap it again because those cars turn upside down, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, Large,
the fuck does it mean? Like, just walk away for a couple of weeks.
The wisdom from someone as old as yourself is probably super valuable.
Yeah, sitting on the top of
the mountain. My selfish ass is like, get it back in the car, prepare. Like, I got tickets on him to win the Xfinity Championship this year. So obviously, and like I said, I mean, obviously, I like watching him race. I think it's been a great storyline this year to see him, get his first win on ovals and dummy these kids on road courses as well. So, maybe I'm a little bit short-sighted and selfish.
I think everybody wants to see him back.
Yeah.
Like your point, like he's going to come walking out of the tunnel. He's going to chicken soup game it and come back after a broken thing.
Yeah.
My thing is, if there's a reasonable concern that he can injure himself again, and again, you're talking about steering, like all that kind of stuff, a reasonable concern that he can hurt, don't race. Just don't fucking race. Who would love that news? Fucking Justin Allgaier. But it's one of those things where, you do have to look ahead. I don't know if that would be just so detrimental to the team, though, that he'd feel like he's letting everybody down, including his fans. But
I don't think so.
I just would hate for the worst to happen.
He has to make the decision that's best for him. And Large, like you said, you're right. It's probably not all his decision, or maybe not even at all his decision.
Yeah.
Who's to say Trackhouse and the contract they have signed doesn't, say that they have final say on what he can race on.
And he's been like cutesy in the fucking, like, and again, I'm very old. So whenever something happens to me, I make it out to be worse than it is. That way my family leaves me alone. Like, you know what I mean? I was going to go upstairs and lay down type thing. So I'm used to that. This kid is tweeting about his aura. And Brad Kate comes back, whatever you do, don't let him tape you playing basketball. I can't explain it. He's like, oh, I know. His dad tweeted out, well, at least that time he pooped his pants won't be the most embarrassing part of his life. There's all these things that are kind of jokey, and you love to see it. You love to see that this kid is a 19-year-old strong kid who's going to bounce back. I'm just very, very fucking worried that, it would be tragic to have that kid have another injury that could be something that persists throughout his career. I know exactly when it's going to rain because I broke my leg when I was fucking 13.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
his response has been great though. I
Yeah.
mean, he had a super viral tweet about the aura debt. That
Aura
was
debt.
very funny.
Yeah.
And then obviously the one about him being in the hospital, they put the little fall wristband on his
Yeah.
wrist.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
was good. I think Zayn posted a photo. It looked like he was back at the track the following day, so that was good to see. And obviously, we send him our best with the recovery efforts, and we want to see him back at his full potential whenever that may be.
I'm going to give you guys a couple of facts that I was just breezing through TikTok the other day, and there's a gentleman, I don't even follow him, but his name is Nicky Centraccio, and it's First or Fence is the name of his thing. I haven't seen this kid's page at all, but he put up a couple of, NASCAR facts. What did he say it was? 5 useless facts of 2025. I click on that every time. Useless facts, sign me up. Bubba Wallace is the second driver ever to win at the Brickyard for Toyota. A cool fact. Kyle Busch won twice. Bubba's, but not a huge one. In 23 starts, Denny Hamlin has only finished 5th to 20th twice. Every other of his race, Denny's either top 5 or 20th or worse. So 21 out of 23 races, Denny's either 5 or better or 20 or worse. He doesn't fuck around in the middle. Records or checkers for Denny. I think that's kind of interesting.
That is.
Since Charlotte, this is the one where I didn't call the kid out. I just kind of made a general thing. Since Charlotte, Trackhouse Racing have 7 Xfinity wins, 5 Cup wins, and 3 weekend sweeps. And that's where I called the kid out. He was talking about SVG 4 Cups win, 1 Xfinity win. Ross Chastain 1 Cup win. Connor Zilic 5 Xfinity wins. I said, well, he's a junior motorsports driver. They're like, yeah, but he's developmental, so he counts as Trackhouse. Okay, I'll give you that. And then Daniel Suarez 1 Xfinity win. What a performance Trackhouse has put on since Charlotte. 7 Xfinity wins, 5 Cup wins for fucking Trackhouse. And then this one is the stat I wanted to point out to you guys because I thought it was very interesting. And again, the gentleman's name is Nicky Centraccio. I like saying Centraccio, like I'm a fucking.
It's a great name.
First or Fence. In each of her first 6 career starts, Catherine Legg has outrun at least one Cup Series champion. When she placed 30th at Phoenix, Brad was 33rd. In Mexico, she was 32nd. Larson 36, Kyle Busch, Pete 37. Chicago, she was 19th, Brad 37th. Sonoma, she was 31st, Kyle Larson 35th, Ryan Blaney, Pete 36. Indy 17th before Logano and Busch, and Watkins Glen, she finished 3 spots ahead of Kyle Larson, who came in dead last. So if you're looking like pick up positives, because people like to pull positives out of what Catherine's doing this season, I kind of think that's one of the more interesting ones. So I thought I'd give the kid a little bit of a shine. First or whatever by Nicky Centraccio. So I say he doesn't race for the rest of the season. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I think it'd be stupid to hurt this kid again. The only good thing about Sunday's race, I think, was the run time. It ran for about 2 hours and 10 minutes. And so it was like a mercy killing after that. And Shane won by 11 seconds. He started doing donuts before Christopher Bell, who was P2, had crossed the finish line. I'm going to give Shane some flowers. He scored his 4th consecutive road course victory, winning by 11.1 seconds, the 2nd largest margin of victory in Cup Series history at Watkins Glen. He becomes the 3rd driver in series history to win 4 consecutive road course races. He's the first driver to win four road course races in a single season. And NASCAR insights through this. SVG has the 2 largest margins of victory in the next-gen era, when he had lapped the field by 16.5 seconds in Mexico City, and then what he just did, 11 seconds in Watkins Glen. And he's the 2nd driver with multiple wins over 10 seconds in a single season since 2000. It's been 25 years since people have had 2 wins of 10 seconds or more, and SVG has it. And then he got up on the podium with his dad, who we met. Remember his dad?
Yep.
He got up there with his fucking dog, which I believe is a Rhodesian Ridgeback. People who are not familiar with this breed of dog, they were bred to fucking hunt lions. This dog is better than you, just like he's better than everybody in this fucking field. His dad was recently like very sick. They lost his mom a couple of months ago, right? Like SVG's been through some personal shit too. So having his dad up there, it was like emotional and fucking cool. Then he kicked the ball again. I fucking hate this guy. So SVG continues to put on a clinic. No one can catch him on similar fucking. I don't think he could do this in a go-kart, but in similar cars and no one can catch this guy. Can anyone make up this ground that they have to SVG, or is this one of those things where until this guy leaves the cup, we just have to concede that he's going to be the best every time we go on some fucking course where we have to turn right?
I think he's just the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think some of these guys obviously will maybe catch up. We've seen great runs. I think there were guys that were just maybe a couple longer laps, like Tyler Reddick at the Chicago Street Course. I think he was in contention of maybe running him down. We've seen guys like Busher win on Watkins Glen last year. So there are opportunities for other drivers, but I think that SVG is just the class of the field when it comes to road courses. And these cup drivers have a little bit more work to do before they're going to be competing regularly with him. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep betting him on road courses. We cashed again this week. So SVG's just been printing winners on road courses, and I'm not going to miss out on that. Until someone proves that they're caught up, I'm just going to keep playing the same playbook.
Briscoe had said on the radio the other day, or maybe even today on Sirius, it's that thing, and SVG talks about it all the time, the way he goes like heel toe and 2 foot thing. Briscoe's like, we're trying to replicate his footwork, but if I work on it for a year, I'm still 30 years behind SVG.
Yeah.
We'll never be able to do it with the efficiency that guy has because he's been doing it his whole life. So maybe that's a difference.
I don't know, though. I mean, Chase Briscoe's been running incredibly large. If we're talking about giving flowers, I mean, he's got 9 top 5s this year. He's got a win to show for it. He's got 11 top 10s. The last 5 weeks, he's went second, 18th, 2nd, 5th. Like, he is scorching hot. I think he's been unbelievable. And I think the transition from him to Joe Gibbs has been, pretty smooth, as good as you could have wanted. I thought, it would have been a little bit slower of an acclimation period for him, and he seemingly, just kind of got the hook of it right away. So I've been impressed with him the last month plus. So yeah,
he's a success story. I mean, replacing a legend like Martin, right?
Yeah.
Who in the last couple of seasons didn't seem like he wanted to be there anymore. Like Martin Truex looks like a guy who wanted to fucking retire. So when you leave and you have somebody new come in, it's always such a gamble in any sport, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. He hit it out of the park. But even seeing like Ryan Blaney, capture the pole at Watkins Glen, and, Busher run him down that one time, and, people be competitive. Moon, do you see anybody catching up to this dude, or is SVG's world and we're just kind of living in it?
I mean, somebody's going to have to, I feel like, or a team owner will find somebody who will, because with how many road course races there are now, I feel like SVG and Trackhouse are kind of exposing how you could really game the system without running, exceptionally well on the ovals. And SVG's starting to run good enough that he's going to go into the playoffs with enough playoff points that I really think he's going to cruise through the first round and pretty much damn near be guaranteed a second round spot, which is a big deal for the team because that's top 12 in points and that pays pretty good. So I think off of that alone, the teams are definitely going to be looking at, road courses as probably even more of a priority than they have been the last few years, because he's kicking their ass. Like, nobody's even close until Zilish gets up there. And even when Zilish is running cup races, he's had the learning curve of the next gen car. I think until somebody can match what SVG's doing, like, everybody's just going to be, their priority is going to be chasing him because he is absolutely kicking their ass. I mean, I know it was a big talking point on Twitter. He was literally celebrating before second place crossed the line on Sunday.
Donuts. He's doing donuts while Christopher Bell, who everyone knows is a very accomplished driver, it's embarrassing. And to your point, he gets out of that first round. We got the Roval in the second round.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this guy he's we talk about buying futures on who we think is going to win the championship and go to DraftKings. We'll talk about it in a little bit. I had taken SVG a couple of weeks ago, plus 4,000 to win it all. It's been cut in half, plus 2,000. I even think that there's some value in that.
Are they going?
There's some value in fucking SVG winning it all, and it's burning a hole in my stomach. Oh, that dude we listened to, Break Hard. Everyone, I'm giving a lot of shout outs to people. Break Hard, he's very, very good. He's just very knowledgeable about the sport. I like the way the guy talks and puts things out. He's like a quick hit guy, so you feel like you're informed in very little time. So Break Hard, if you want to follow him. He had said SVG had extended his thing, much to the chagrin of Large from Barstool, and he showed a picture of me like doing this or some shit. But
no, he's going to turn you into you're going to become his biggest fan, Large.
I mean, SVG? Yeah, I'm going to get a tattoo. Fuck it. I think
he's going to win you over. And the thing is,
that's his plan, Spider. You're weak-minded, and he got you. I consider myself to be a fucking trap. He got me. He fucking infiltrated me.
Large.
It's an infestation.
When that 40-1 championship future ticket is giving you a cash out for like 5x the wager you put down on DraftKings, you're going to be loving it. You're going to have an SVG jersey. You're going to have the tattoo. You're going to have it all going on.
I coined I made SVG look AVG last week. Made SVG look average. Nobody does. So I don't know. There was a Russian politician that they slowly fed mercury to, I think. And that's what wound up taking that guy down. We should do that with SVG. Let's give him a little bit of uranium in his Vegemite or whatever the fuck those people eat. But I don't know. Guys operating on a level that's never been seen before. And then you come in, well, not never been seen before, but certainly I haven't seen in my small time watching the sport. And it just continues. His dad impresses me. His fucking dog impresses me. And SVG is the fucking man. Trackhouse Racing 2 should be given some flowers. They had all three of their cars finish in the top 10 in the same race for the first time. Busher had put himself in pretty good spot. He won a stage and finished third. I think he probably scored the most points on Sunday. So he maintained his hold on the final playoff spot over Ryan Preece with 2 races left. You'd mentioned Chase Briscoe is looking good. I don't know. Chase Elliott, this is the first time he finished a race outside the top 20 all season, and he falls behind Byron by 42 points in the run for the regular season championship. So no flowers for Chase Elliott. And then Kyle Larson had a mechanical issue, so he finished dead last. I know we can't blame it on Larson. It's a mechanical issue, but Larson has finished 30th or worse in 4 of the 5 road courses this season. So Kyle Larson, if you want to find the chink in the armor, it's definitely road courses this season. What else? What else do you guys want to talk about? They had said that there is a possibility that NASCAR will stop all rooftop celebrations, and NASCAR came right out and said, we're not going to fucking do that. But I was watching some tape. There was a time where they used to have the PVC, where I don't know if you remember this, Moonhead, maybe they used to bring out this bullshit little PVC thing and put it right on top of the car. There's a clip of Jeff Gordon couldn't get up on the car because they had this PVC thing that they put up there. And it's so drivers couldn't sort of like tamp down the height of the car when it goes to inspection afterwards. And that worked for like 2 races before they got rid of it. So people were like, are NASCAR going to bring back the PVC? And they're not. But what would you do if you Connor Zilic is fucking like Chase Elliott's not allowed snowboard anymore? Connor Zilic wins a race. What does that look like? What does victory lane looks like when Connor Zilic wins his next race?
So I feel like I think it was Junior himself was mad that his drivers were coming out of the roof hatch. But I think after seeing Saturday, I think that's the new safest way. Like, I think you just pop the roof hatch, stand up in the seat, wave, pose for the pictures, and then gently climb out. Now, I think that's the way to go.
I think that's a great idea, honestly, Large, or Moonhead rather. They can't enforce rules. I mean, I think it's one thing if the teams obviously, like, I think if the owner has a preference, by all means, that's fine. They're happy to offer their input to the drivers. NASCAR themselves, you can't touch the celebrations. I think that's one of the coolest things we got. We talk at length about how cool some of the teams and the unique celebrations for each driver was. It's been a lasting tradition. I mean, no one said shit when Carl Edwards was back flipping off these cars. Actually, I don't know that that's true, but I would imagine there probably wasn't as much issue with that. I don't know. I think it's cool. It's cool seeing these guys celebrate, and that's one of the few kind of pieces we get outside of them on track. I guess they still are on track, but you know what I mean. They
Yeah,
get to
no, I
show their
hear.
personality in a unique way, and I think it's really cool. Obviously, this was a freak accident. It's not like this stuff happens all the time. It's much more dangerous being in the car than getting out of it. It just sucks that this happened and that this is even a talking point. But if anything happens, if there's any rules put in place, I will be the first one picketing outside NASCAR HQ.
Whoever is in charge of Connor Zilic and he wins, he comes back in Portland, goes into the playoffs, wins first round of the playoffs or something like that. What does he do? Because he has the opportunity to make it be like a viral moment. Does he have somebody come up and like wrap him in bubble wrap and then put him on the roof of the car? Has the whole crew come out and like stand around him like they're witnessing a suicide attempt or something? Like, what does he do to make that interesting? He should, because he seems like he wants to play into that silliness.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that would be very funny. Maybe like one of those, like, how there's those gymnastic spotters.
Yes.
So like they'll do a backflip and then they'll slide the mat underneath really quick.
Yeah, like maybe a Russian guy out there with a fucking blue mat.
Or maybe like one of those firefighter like trampolines that they put out. And he just dives into it. I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff. I hope he leans into it. I think he's like you said, Large, he's got a great sense of humor. He's made light of the situation thus far, and I think that there's a good opportunity to do that following his next win.
I gotta check that hatch thing out. Like, I read about that too, Moon. I wonder too, if you just pop the T-top and you jump out of that, that'd be kind of cool. Like, we don't get to see that shit.
What if he races with a sling in the car, and then when he wins, he doesn't put the window net down right away. He drives to victory lane and then pops the hatch and comes through the hatch wearing the collarbone and flicks everyone off or something.
Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. When he turns heel, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Connor Zilic. Either way, the way that he fell kind of reminded me of something. It reminded me of that time we went hunting for ducks, Spider.
Oh, no.
We got Dive Bomb in the house.
Yeah, we do.
No, it's not you falling in the water at all. I'm talking about us plucking these things out of the fucking sky. For people who don't know what we're talking about, Spider and I were lucky enough to go duck hunting last year in Missouri, and it went with these guys from Dive Bomb, and they make like decoys and everything you need to hunt and fish. These guys do, and we have a bunch of golf shirts from them. Spiders, that's the Jeff Burton one, right? Yeah, that's it. It's got the 24. So I wear the golf shirts all the time. I was out to their plant in Missouri, this huge fucking warehouse. Greatest group of guys you ever want to hang out with. I went around drinking and eating with them. And the stuff that they sell is par excellence. So Dive Bomb Industries gear is designed to perform in the toughest conditions. They make products for the outdoorsman, the hunter, and the sportsman. They even have golf polos and everyday wear, which Spider was just modeling there for a second. I will tell you, we were in freezing cold water. I know there's a lot of hunters out there who'll know a lot more than me. I was comfortable in that duck blind. Like, basically we had to like crack the ice to get through. These guys had us in these hip waders with all this space age fabric. They got everything. And when you look at the Venn diagram for hunters and NASCAR, fans, it's basically an eclipse. So there are people out there who are listening now and big hunting people. Give Dive Bomb a chance. These guys are absolutely excellent, from decoys on up to golf shirts. So check us out at divebombindustries.com. divebombindustries.com and use code Rubbin15 at checkout. Dive Bomb's going to be with us for, I think, through the playoffs. So we'll be talking about it and we'll be modeling their shit just about every week. So thanks for jumping on board, Dive Bomb. We appreciate that. And it just reminded me, because the way fucking Connor Zilic fell was sort of like that first, you were the first one to bag a duck, right?
I was, yeah. And your first duck, if I remember correctly, was on the water.
Did you want to bring that up? Do you
Since we're highlighting our shortcomings. So
yeah, no, but I also bagged something. It was called something Drake. Can't remember it.
A Mallard Drake.
A Mallard Drake or something. It was an outstanding day. It was because of Dive Bomb. So having them come full circle and be on the show, it's a pleasure.
They just sent me some more swag, Large. I'm going to be rocking my Trudge boots all season. Yeah, those boots are awesome.
Yeah. I was up doing the oyster thing with Sydney couple of weeks ago, and I was rocking some dive bomb stuff while I was
There you
up there,
go.
just like shucking oysters in the bay. This one I kind of like. Did you see? So Garage Guy Chase was one of the guys that we used to talk to a lot. He does more IndyCar stuff now, but Garage Guy Chase had put on his story this Reddit story that has since been taken down because I think the guy's just embarrassed. But there's some old dude who got scammed by a Tony Breidinger guy posing as Tony Breidinger. So it was one of those things where she was like, "Hey, sweetheart, thanks for being a great fan, and thanks for your likes and comments on my main page. I've been monitoring you and can see you are a true fan. May God continue to bless you." So that got this guy hooked in. That put the hook in, and then he had written there, "I was really excited when I got this message from Tony Breidinger on TikTok. I'm new to TikTok. We chatted for a few days and even arranged a private dinner date. I trusted her, and over the past week through Zelle, I sent her a couple of $1,000, but then the account went silent, and my daughter told me it was all a scam. This sounds like something that would happen to me." I mean, I obviously we talk about how old I am all the time, but this guy and Tony Breidinger had said something like April. I went back onto her timeline, and she had put something on her timeline saying, "I don't have any private, secret fan, or only fan accounts. I will never ask you for money or sell fan club, VIP cards, or anything like that. There are 100 million fake accounts of me. My management won't reach out to anyone either, so be smart out there." Like, she did put this out there. And I'm friendly with Lisa Ann, that porn star. She's like, "I have so many fake Lisa Ann accounts that are asking, incels for money. It's disgusting." So this guy got fucking raked in by Tony Breidinger.
I feel
Spider,
bad.
how bad do you feel for this guy? Or
Yeah.
did it teach this old boomer who's probably 2 years younger than me a lesson?
I mean, obviously, it's probably pretty dumb to fall into this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel bad anytime pretty much anyone gets scammed universally, especially old people. Like, that's just like low-hanging fruit.
It is.
People like that do the cold calls and just try to take advantage of people. That's a shitty thing to do. I got to be honest, I would probably like do a deep dive if someone posing as Tony Breidinger DM'd me. But
I'd give it a second look.
I don't know. I just feel bad. It just makes me feel kind of shitty. Like, this guy probably, just had good intention. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking reaching.
But Moonhead, can you assume that this guy is my age? Can you assume that he's 53? Can you assume, because he went to his daughter and his daughter told him how TikTok works? I've done that multiple times with my daughter. As a matter of fact, I almost ordered a Labubu the other day. I don't even know what the fuck
I
this
got
thing
one.
is. Do you?
Yeah.
So can you tell me, is there a universe where I would send Tony Breidinger a couple of $1,000
That's
on
the
Zelle
part I have an issue with.
without expecting? This is not disrespectful to Tony. It's got nothing to do with Tony Breidinger. Put that out there. Without expecting at least a hand job?
Oh no, yeah, there's no way.
Okay.
But I mean, there's been women I loved I didn't send $3,000 on Zelle to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not one that just randomly DM'd me on TikTok.
It's fucking crazy.
But I also feel bad for Tony. Like that statement that you read that she posted.
Yeah.
Having to go through all that because people are trying to like pose as you or steal your likeness has got to be exhausting. Just
and
to even
she
have
has so many images out there. It would be the easiest fake account ever. She was just in Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit edition. I think this season she was in it.
Yeah.
She drives this Victoria's Secrets car. She's got like modeling gigs. So you could fill up a page with her easily.
You got to be dumb to be sending her money, though. That's why, I mean, like, the worst drivers in the sport get paid like several $100,000. But especially one with Tony, who just has brands lined up to work with her. She's probably the last person in the garage that is like, down bad asking random old men for sugar daddies online. Like, I
know. And what I'm saying is this guy got caught trying to, like, he got caught in a scam. He also got caught trying to bang Tony Breidinger, right? Like that's what he did. If your favorite driver in the world was, name anybody, Kyle Larson, and Kyle Larson reached out to me and asked me to Zelle him $1,000 or $3,000, I say, go fuck yourself, right? Because I don't want a hand job from Kyle Larson. This guy wanted one from Tony, who doesn't exist, right? Tony is a very decent young lady who exists in the realm of Jesus, or whatever the fuck you want to say. This other thing, that guy was just looking to get his fucking dick sucked.
Part of me feels like this guy's got to be like 80 years old.
Do you think he's 80?
Not
He
80,
said in
but
the Reddit post, the supposed Reddit post from Legal Advice, he said he was 59.
Oh, so he's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. You know what? Yeah, that is. I think that's bad. Like the older you go, the more acceptable it becomes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
59's young enough though to kind of realize something's up here.
Yeah, 59-year-old should know what the fuck's going on there. He shouldn't have gotten taken advantage of.
I don't know. I mean, we've had, obviously I started with tragic news. We had the Connor Zilic thing. We have this, all that. This story is the one that got its hooks in me for some reason. Our weekly Hurricane Hocevar segment, he did a media session where he said he's going to sit down with McDowell this weekend at Richmond to discuss his incident at with McDriver. No, he hasn't spoken to McDriver yet about their WGI run-in. He said McDowell suggested sitting down this weekend at Richmond to discuss it. Hocevar felt after he got spun by McDowell, either he made a mistake or misjudged. It was plenty okay to race really hard for the position at the end because it affected the qualifying order at Richmond, a track where the spot you go out matters a lot. Then he said he isn't sure why Keselowski was so upset in qualifying because Hocevar was upset with Keselowski first. Then he said he knew Zane Smith's tolerance level was going to be low on that last lap at WGI. So if I could give that back in a spot that wasn't going to cost me anything, hopefully that mends a little bit of their race getting wrecked at Iowa, which wasn't intentional by any means. I don't expect anybody to pick those things apart because I read them very poorly. But where's Carson Hocevar as far as with his media presence now? Should this be a guy that shows up to every media thing with a mouthpiece, perhaps a lawyer, or prepared statements? Because people are now, me included, hang on his every fucking word.
No, I love it. I love it. I think it's important to have drivers that people are going to be interested to hear what they have to say. Obviously, the drivers have the most experience out of anyone in the sport. I think it's good to hear their takes on certain stuff. Hocevar specifically, he's been a guy who's, I think last year, what did he leak on his Twitch page? Didn't he? He leaked part of the schedule last season.
It was the Rockingham thing, but I think he actually didn't know. I think he was trying to say something that was not true, and then
it
come
ended
to
up
find
being
out
true.
Spire was actually involved in bringing Rockingham back. So I don't
either
think
way,
he meant to, but yeah.
Either way, whether you did that intentionally or not, I think it's important. It's funny that anytime Hocevar speaks, people find importance in it and are like you said, Large, hanging on every word. I think that's good. These drivers' voices it's good to hear them. Denny has a whole podcast on, people, we tune into that to hear what his takes are a lot of times on shit that happens week to week. So Hocevar, I think it's good having another guy like that where people are just captivated by the things they say or they might potentially say when there's a mic in front of their face.
But if he has something like this every week, should it be actions detrimental with Carson Hocevar? I think I would tune into that if he had the right crew around him, because he seems like he does speak his mind. And that's one of the things that people find refreshing about actions detrimental. Denny can say whatever the hell he wants, right? And he does. I mean, he's suing the fucking company, for Christ's sake. So do you think Carson has that kind of weight, socially, media-wise, where he could really parlay this into something like Denny did with actions?
I don't think right now, but I think, he's a young guy in his career. I think after, get a win, get some more reps in, I think that's not without reason at all. I would love to see him have a podcast where he just speaks his mind and says crazy shit more regular. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd rather that than fucking Taylor Swift. All right, let's talk about Richmond. Spider's on his way. Spider's heading down to Richmond, so he'll be there this weekend. If you see him, please ask him for a picture and $20. Yep. There is no Xfinity this week. As I said, it picks back up in Daytona, so we have night races on Friday and Saturday. Chuck's on Friday with the Eero 250. I don't know what Eero is.
Me neither, but
that Greek sandwich. Starting 7:30 p.m. on FS1. A couple of Xfinity guys are in the field, crossing Kvapil, Christian Eckes, Sammy Smith. Corey LaJoy is also in the field, but there's a guy I never heard of, Patrick Staropoli.
Oh yeah.
This is the fucking guy. He's a full-time retina surgeon.
Yes.
He's like 36 years old. He's a part-time professional stock driver who competes part-time in a couple of series, including wheeling the number 84 Toyota Tundra for Cook Racing Technologies this Friday. Patrick Staropoli.
Yep.
I don't think he has any top tens, no wins. I think he has some wins in like ARCA West, like that ARCA West series or something. But man, I'm pulling for this guy.
I'm a massive fan of his, Large. I'll
get a t-shirt.
Well, no. I'm not trying to get a t-shirt. I'm trying to have him perform my LASIK eye surgery, and we film a video where I interview him while he's doing the surgery, because I'm pretty sure it's just like a little bit of pressure on your eyes.
I had it done. Yeah. I mean,
But I think
I would go to that. I would hope I'm invited first.
Oh
of
yeah,
all.
of course.
When I went with Clem, when Clem had gotten fixed, Clem had gotten neutered because he didn't want any more kids. So I went with Clem to that. It was sponsored by Manscaped. Remember when Manscaped was big with us?
Yep.
So I had shaved Clem's balls beforehand. Oh, brought to you by Manscaped. It doesn't nick and all that shit. We'd gone, and after he's done, I bought him one of those collars so he couldn't lick himself like a dog, you know? So I would love to go with you and somehow make fun of you getting that done. And if it got done by Patrick's Staropoli,
that's the only way I would do it. I'm not. Okay. I don't want, if my fucking retina surgeon is not a NASCAR driver, he's not doing the surgery.
I don't know how I'm going to bet this guy. I don't know where we can get a line that would make sense for Pat. I mean, or if there was top 20, maybe I'd kind of throw it in there.
We're pulling for you, Patrick. Just know that.
Yeah, just know that we're all about it. And then Cup race. It's race 25 of 36 for the NASCAR season. It's the Cookout 400. Ooh, I had Cookout this week in Tuscaloosa.
Literally going to Cookout. That's my first stop when I get to Richmond. I also got my guy Liam Blutman coming. So luckily for me, I've been to Cookout before, but Blutman's going to join me. And he was very adamant that we go there as well. So nice. That's going to be our dinner plan probably 2 nights in a row.
You know where I still haven't been, Spider? Culver's.
Oh, you would love it. They do a good job.
I'm waiting for you. Yeah, we're going to go outside together. All right, so the Cookout 400 Saturday, 7:30 p.m. on USA, 400 laps on a 3/4 mile asphalt oval. Jesse Love in the 33 for RCR and Corey Heim in the 67 for 23:11. So this is the second to last race before Daytona. Then the playoffs begin August 31st. And you guys may remember Austin Dillon is the defending winner, kind of. He took up part of the field on the way out. This year, this became the track's only annual race, with the spring race date being given to that new race in Mexico. So we went down to one race at Richmond. I got a couple of bullets. Richmond is the 4th of 6 short track races in 2025. So 6 road courses, 6 short track races. It's only one of the last 13 Richmond winners was under the age of 30. Richmond is old guy friendly. 5 of the drivers not locked into the playoffs have won at Richmond. Kyle Busch, he's won there 6 times. Brad Kay, Austin Dillon, Chris Buescher, and Alex Bowman. Chase Briscoe is the only driver to finish inside the top 10 in all 3 short track races this season. But Chase Briscoe says that he's not very good at Richmond, but the 19 team is very good there. Denny has won here 5 times. So 19% of Denny Hamlin's Cup wins came in his home state of Virginia, 11 of the 58. AJ Allmendinger will make his 100th Cup start with Kaulig Racing this weekend, more than any other driver in that team's history. Ryan Blaney will make his 350th consecutive Cup start this weekend, the 5th longest streak. But Richmond is the only oval Ryan Blaney does not have a top 5 finish in. And there's a bunch of drivers who can clinch a win here. I don't know if you guys have any idea on who you think can do it. Is there anybody kind of off the bubble that you see maybe pulling a win here? I had said that we're going to get at least 2 more winners before the season's out, and I only have 2 races to do it. So can Tyler, can Bowman, can Buescher, can Priest, can Busch, can Gibbs, can Allmendinger, Keselowski, Hocevar, Jones, McDowell, Nemechek. I won't go any deeper than that. You guys see a new winner maybe here at Richmond?
I don't, but if I did, I would say Brad Kay.
Okay. You see any new winners here?
I think it's unlikely, but I mean, as I say that, looking through, the first 6 or 7 names you read there, I think that those guys probably have a realistic chance. And I mean, last year we saw the Austin Dillon deal. Obviously, there was drama, but he ran really good the whole race. There were shenanigans, I think, with the engineer or whatever. But regardless, these guys are going to be pulling out all the stops. So I wouldn't be shocked to see, you know, a Keselowski or a Hocevar or, you know, somebody like that maybe show up with just a little bit more speed than usual and be a contender.
You know what I would say? I would say Kyle Busch or Brad Kay, based on the evidence you just read, Large. You said it's
The
older
older
guy,
guys.
it's old guy friendly. And then I'm looking at, you know, Brad Kay was the first guy I said, but Kyle Busch, someone mentioned Austin Dillon rather, who had speed at this track. Granted, you know, he went about his win in dramatic fashion, but who's to say Kyle Busch doesn't have similar speed or track position late in the race and does it in a clean fashion?
I would
So
love to see fucking Kyle Busch win this race.
hey, I would love to see either Brad or Kyle win, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it'll be a guy that has already won.
Catch the action on TV or feel the thrill in person. Secure your NASCAR seat today at NASCAR.com and feel the excitement. But again, it's a Saturday night race. You can catch it all on USA after 7:30 p.m. and then Friday night race 7:30 p.m. on FS1 for trucks. 3 paint schemes jumped out at me. Ross is running that underwear scheme again. I always think it's kind of goofy, so it's worth mentioning. I pulled out Jesse Love's Ultimate Energy C4 Ultimate Energy thing. I don't know what it is, man. I love this fucking scheme. You're not as big of a fan, Spide?
No, I don't like it. I think it's just boring.
Okay.
I think it's stupid. I do think there are some cool ones in the field this week. Obviously, you know, Briscoe's is sick every week, the Bass Pro, but Christopher Bell's DeWalt bright yellow car I think is cool. And then I saw a couple other ones. Oh, I think Noah's I like the colors on Noah's. It's orange and blue.
Mhm.
Austin Dillon's got that big buck on his Bass Pro Shops 3 car. And then even Corey Haim's bright yellow Robin Hood 67 car is pretty cool in my opinion. But those are the ones that popped out to me.
I love Daniel Suarez too.
Suarez one is sick.
At Quaker State.
Is that
Cover 'em all.
did he win? He won in that scheme. I'm trying to remember where it was, but yeah, that thing is sick. I
Yeah.
also think SVG's WeatherTech scheme, the red, white, and blue, is always really cool looking.
Fuck him. All right, let's pick some winners. Picking the Tires brought to you by DraftKings. UFC 319 is blowing back to the Windy City for the first time in 6 years. Check the fight card and get in on all the action. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. Dricus Duplessis puts his middleweight title up against Khamzat Chimaev, who is a perfect 14-0. Who are you taking? First time betting UFC at DraftKings? Just pick something simple like a fighter to win and make your pick. It's that easy. And if you're new to DraftKings, check this out. New customers who bet $5 will get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So don't miss out on all the UFC 319 action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code Rubbin. That's code Rubbin for new customers. Get $200 in bonus bet instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. I was telling you guys, if you could take a future right now on anybody, who did you say you would take one on, Spider? Was it Briscoe?
Oh man, I don't even know. Probably Christopher Bell. I think he's a guy who rattled off 3 wins early on in the season. Has been kind of quiet since then. I shouldn't say quiet, but not in the win column. And then, I don't know. I think he might be able to turn it around. My concern with that would be last year we saw Joe Gibbs racing really decline late in the season. So that would be my skepticism, but overall, I think he's probably a good guy. And then, I mean, hearing about your SVG pick, Large, part of me wants to take that 20-1, wait till he, you know, advances into the round 2 and then see what the cash out offering is.
I got it at 40-1.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You got to be mindful. They're going to keep offering you cash outs. So
yeah,
make sure you're watching that.
Yeah. I don't know. Because of the over 30 thing, I'm taking 2 this week, and both of them are over 30. I'm going chalky with Denny and a little less chalky with Joey. I'm taking those 2. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything else I want to throw in there, but for right now, I'm going to take 2 winners. I'll take Denny at plus 400. No, that's where's Denny right now on that?
He's plus 370. Denny is to win the race.
And then where's Logano?
Logano is 10-1 plus 1,000.
Okay. Yeah, so those are the 2 that I think I'm going to take. And then top 10, it's pretty fucking thin. I'm going to do, Austin Dillon is plus money top 10.
Yeah, take it.
Right? What is he going to be? I'm gonna take Austin Dillon plus 425 top 5. Plus 425. So Austin Dillon top 5.
Juicy.
Yeah, Denny to win, Joey Logano to win. Those are my 3, and I'm doing those because they're the over 30 picks, Denny and Joey. And this is about they're using that option tire. So remember last year's race, you had the 2 tires.
Yep.
This one they're just gonna have the option tire. Could become like one of those tire conservation races. And I think the older, smarter guys like Denny and Joey should do pretty well with that. So that should add a little wrinkle. Hopefully, makes this race a little bit more exciting. Maybe not. Who the fuck knows? Who do you got? What are you thinking, Spider?
Yep. So I'm gonna go and put my money where my mouth was. I just spoke highly of Christopher Bell. If you look at driveraverages.com, Christopher Bell is the best active driver at this track. He's got an average finish of 7.3 in 9 races. He has 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s. I feel pretty good about his ability to bring a fast car to the track this week. And I like him plus 450. I have some other picks for you, and I'm looking, and I think there's massive value to be had in Josh Berry, who's currently 40 to 1.
Ooh.
Josh Berry is 4th amongst all active drivers in all of their races at Richmond. Granted, there's only been 3 for him, but in those 3 races, he's got 1 top 5, 1 top 10, and he's finished in the top 20 in all 3. His low finish here at Richmond was 14th. I'm going to take him outright 40 to 1. I also like him for a top 10, which is plus 150. I think that's a very fair price for a guy whose worst finish in 3 races here has been 14th. So give me Berry to win 40 to 1. Give me him for a top 10 plus 150. And then I've also got Christopher Bell plus 450 to win the race outright. And finally, I like the top 5 pick of Chase Briscoe. In the last 5 weeks, he has 4 top 5s, as we mentioned earlier. He's been running really well. And I expect big things from Joe Gibbs this weekend. You know, Denny and Bell have been strong on this track. Truex has been good here. I know we said Chase struggled, but what was your stat, Large? He's the only driver to finish in the top 10 in all
road
3
courses.
short tracks.
Short courses, rather, right? Yeah, so short tracks, he's been killing it. And the 19 team, I mean, knows this fucking track better than anybody. So Toyota to wins plus 115.
Yeah, Briscoe is minus 275 for a top 10. I don't like that. So I'm going to take him plus 120 for a top 5. The way he's been running, I think that's very obtainable. And honestly, Denny minus 190 for a top 5 is also very intriguing pick, but that's just not really any value there. So I'm not going to add that to my card. But those are my picks. Bell and Berry outright, and then Berry for a top 10, and Briscoe for a top 5.
Cool. What do you got, Moon?
Man, I looking down the list. I really like Joey Logano. You know, based off of last year alone, he was well on his way to winning the race. So I like him. Berry is a great pick. Obviously, he's really good on the short tracks. And then going over to the top 5s, I really like Chris Buescher for a top 5. He's always strong this time of year. RFK's really kicking it into high gear. We saw them have a lot of speed at Watkins Glen, and even Keselowski, you know, from top to bottom, I feel like Keselowski's kind of leading a momentum charge over there with how fired up he's been. I mean, he was ready to fight in qualifying the other day. So I like Chris Buescher, though, that said, for a top 5 as well, and then Joey Logano to win outright.
Cool. All righty, guys. Anything else to mention? I got one thing.
What do you got?
Well, first of all, I'm going to mention one more time. Spider, are you going to do the pick 6 this week?
I'm going to do pick 6, yep, and I'll be at Richmond. I actually won another close to $300 last week on pick 6 just off NASCAR alone, so it's great.
I'm out in Denver part of this weekend. The bare knuckle people had asked me to be like ringside, do color for the bare knuckle of it. It's BKB bare knuckle. They have their Denver Brawl on Saturday night in Denver, Colorado. I think you can catch it all on Vice TV, but I'll be putting some links on my social media. I'm going to be ringside. If you really like cool. Violence, this is the most violent thing I've ever been to. I've been to 2 bullfights. They don't compare to this.
Yeah, bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, and I'm a boxing guy, as you know. some guy got his eye knocked out last time I was there. It was fucking wild. You wear it's like going to a Blue Man Group show. You wear a tarp because I was ringside and like a little blood hit me on the lip. It's fucking wild time. So I'm gonna be ringside at that doing color BKB brawl in Denver. So Vice will be airing it. And you get to hear the dulcet sounds of my voice. So that's it for us this week on Rubbin is Racing. Spider, enjoy Richmond. I think the next one that we're both going to is going to be the Roval.
Yep.
And to watch SVG win and move on to the next round of the playoffs. So from all of us here at Rubbin is Racing, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.
Peace.
Fuck you, Quigs.